Okay, now is time for the build. So, love this miniature already, and I'm just really looking forward to getting it all put together. So, here we go. Let's just get right into it, and I will, as always, waffle on while I'm doing it to basically stop myself going insane, which admittedly that's probably a bit late. Okay, so what do we need to get out here? We need to find number 1 and number 2. So that's actually quite interesting right away. So let me check something here. Straight away, there's an actual fault here on the instructions. I'm pretty certain, you know, judge for yourself. It's got the body part as number 1 and the leg as number 2. And the leg is number 1 and the body is number 2. So naughty Games Workshop, you know, someone down at editing, you know, needs a good talking to, because, you know, it's a commemorative model and there's a fault in the instructions right away. I wonder if anyone's noticed that after a while. Right, so here we go then, yeah. Yeah, so straight away, you know, I mean, I get it. They make a lot of models. There's a lot of things to edit. But on a little booklet that small, how was that missed? I don't know. I mean, it's not like it's a terrible disaster that, you know, somehow causes any major problems. But, you know, it is important, these things, when you're dealing with, you know, if people are collecting models for the first time, you've just got to stick to certain standards, haven't you, sometimes? So, yep, there's first little thing to notice. There is an error straight away. Oh man, right then. So let's have a good look here. Let me just fill that on. Yeah, nice and simple, that. Nice. Right, let me get this glue going. Oh. I'm not running out of glue. Fortunately, the little pin that goes in this glue has got itself lost, so now I'm having trouble controlling the flow. Right, so you can see there's not very good contact points on this, so just make sure you let that breathe properly, let it get a bit, you know, slightly dry, give it a chance to bond with the plastic. There we go. Now, I'm still thinking, this has got me back on that thought process now about the Grotmas Gitz. So, right, number 4 and number 5, which is part of the leg. Yeah, about my colour scheme, I'm constantly, there's number 4, constantly trapped about what colour scheme I'm going to do for my Grotmas Gitz. I'm really stuck at the moment, you know. Number 5, just this little toe here. I'm really stuck because on one side I want them to feel like they're stuck in caves. I really want everyone to look at them and think either it's nighttime or this is cave dwelling. You know, I really want to create that effect. However, I have never done that level of other source lighting before. I've never, you know, tried to paint a whole model as if it's in shadow with other lighting creating any kind of colouring. I've got a vision in my head, but, you know, that vision is obviously constrained by my current skill levels. Now you see the problem is dry brushing ain't going to cut it. So it might seem, well, yeah, you know, just dry brush, you know, dry brush on the light, whatever the light source is, dry brush it. The problem with that is just because you have, say, a blue light reflecting onto something, well, if that's got a natural colouring, say its natural colour, skin colour is a green, what colour does a blue light cause? What colour does a red light cause? You're not going to get green. You know, you're going to get something else. So number 3 here, the next part of the squig body. So it's not just so simple as saying, oh, well, you know, just dry brush over the light colour, or, you know, paint it the colour you want and then dry brush it. Well, no, that's not going to make sense, because part of it is in very low light levels. So, and then another part is getting a light intensity of a different shade. So, God, I am having to look into what happens when you get certain light, you know, colours hitting. The good thing is I've got an RGB light in my office. So what I'm doing is I'm changing the colours in the office and then looking how they reflect onto certain paint schemes. I'll try and do that as an experiment at one point. Oh, nice and simple that. I'll, you know, and kind of maybe even show you all what it is. One consideration that I was making is seeing if it would work by, oh, is that probably cleaned? Yeah. Is doing an underpainting and keeping it like a very specific colouring. So doing underpainting in particular shades, and then have the light hit it. But again, it's what colour is that underpainting? There's so many choices to make on this one. Right, let's. Well, you know what? I'm pleased. This seems to have quite simple fittings. Now, what I am worried about though is it looks like we're at high risk of having horrible lines on this. Let me just try and tidy up this. I'm worried about that. It looks like we're going to potentially have a horrible open mould line here if I don't do this right. Look, you can see it just doesn't. It's like got a gap. Oh dear, that's not what you want on a commemorative model. You want it to be perfect. Let's see if I can just check if there's any like off points. Right, okay, I'm gonna have to try this carefully now because I need it to bond properly. Trying to get it on just, and I'm conscious that I need to get the glue everywhere, but I don't want it too thick either, otherwise it's just going to mess everything up. You can see it has to go on every point, unfortunately. Oh gosh, that was too fast, too fast, too fast. Oh no. Let me control that a bit. Come on. Okay, let's see if this will go on now. Now, please bond properly. I should have a little elastic band here just to force it together for a little bit. There we go. That looks like it's going together okay now. Right, Now let's get this next part together. So 6 and 7. Yeah, so I'm really struggling, without a doubt, about my painting process. I worry on one side, I'm putting myself into a place that I'm just not skilled enough to complete number 7 here. Alternatively, if I get it right, it's gonna be amazing, isn't it? I think what I will do is, because I'm planning, get number 8 out as well, because this connects to this. Since I'm planning on creating some Stormcasts who are very ethereal, and I'm also obviously going to do the Sylvaneth, what my plan is maybe to experiment with those first, because they're not my like main forces, whereas things like my Grotmas Gitz really are. So experiment with creating kind of like ghostly effects, really. I've got a plan for that, by the way. Hopefully it'll work out. And then try and kind of replicate that concept later on. Okay, let's try these together now. So this one is kind of, right, let's have a look. Yeah, so that one, make sure it's pointing upwards. And then this one, it looks like it's pointing away by the feel of it. Now, it could be this way around. Let me just check. No, it's definitely, yeah, this looks like it's, yeah, these look like they're facing this way. So it's just a matter of working out how this kind of clicks onto this. Let me think. Yeah, it's quite a weird one, this, because if you look at that like that, this one feels normally work out positioning a lot faster on these. It feels like it's gonna go somewhere around here. So you got that like that. Yeah, that feels like it's kind of wrapping around here. It's a bit weird. Where it feels like it goes and where it actually goes just doesn't seem to add up right now. Because you want that bit, and I don't know. Hang on. Yeah, I think I've worked it out. Yeah, I think it goes like that. Yeah, you see, so that kind of way. So it's got like a kind of little notch there that's sliding in there by the look of it, and then it rests against that side. Ooh, no you don't. Too much glue then, I saw that coming. Let's do that again then. Yep. Tidy this up, let that breathing glue up for a second while I tidy this. Right, let's look at this just carefully now. So we've got this together like this. The, whatever that is, the little kind of, I'm not sure what that is, but whatever that is goes downwards. Now, this facing this way. Looks quite, yeah, it does. It sits in a very strange manner, this. So if you look carefully, you see how there's like a little clip point there, like that. So it has a bit of a weird positioning. It might not be something that's easy to just kind of pick up instantly. See how many contact points I need on it. Yeah, it's just there really to glue. There we go, and then it's kind of this is I think this sits in his mouth, so kind of does make sense that there's a lot of unusual shapes to it. Right, now let's get number 9 out, which looks like jaw part. Let's have a look at this. Now, my biggest worry right now, looking at this, is that we've effectively got a very hard piece to paint, but if you don't kind of glue it now, you're going to get a difficult bond, I would say, with the rest of the squig. Yeah, there we go. So, right. Hopefully you can see you got a flat bit here that joins onto there, and then the jaw really kind of pushes back underneath that little bit of tree there. The branch. Hopefully this will add a bit of stability to that part of the model as well, because it just does feel very flimsy, for want of a better word. It just feels like it would constantly fall apart without that being strong. Okay, now get the squig's head for number 10. Well, head, eyes and forehead. So it'll be one big mouth really. Dry fit it first, to see what I'm doing. Yeah, there we go, that one's nice and simple, just should kind of just nicely pop on. Oh god, me and my dodgy fingers, eh guys? Hey, right, there we go, look at that. Gosh, that's, I mean, you know, you gotta love squigs. I mean, what even is it? It's just like it's a mouth that just devours and nothing, not much else really, isn't it? The beauty of them. He reminds me of Gobbler, this guy, Skarshnik's pet squig, warlord of Karakate Peaks. You know, that was the first like Warhammer pitched battle that I ever really fought with anyone, because I had orcs and dwarfs, we followed like the scenario for the Battle of Carragate, not Carragate, yeah, Carragate Peaks, wasn't it? So that was just such an amazing thing to reenact at the time. I think it actually came in the, I can't remember if it actually came in the like the Dwarf Army book at the time, the actual scenario, but it was really cool to actually fight it out. Okay, so that is our squig pretty much done. He's missing a foot, but that's kind of all coming together with the rest of these here. So I need to get number 11 out. Oh gosh, this is going to be hard to clean up. Look at those tiny little snotling arms. At least it's plastic. My goodness, metal snotlings just used to break all the time on the arms. 13 here. But still, gonna have to be careful cleaning that up because there's a injection point right on the arm. So that's gonna be a hard little bit. There's number 12. So I'm just gonna have to be gentle here while I clean this up. Yeah, you can see these easy to snap places, can't you? That's not going to come off easily. Let me tidy that more. Yep, I think, where's my my knife? I need to take that off properly. It's too big and I can't seem to get it with my, gosh, whatever. That's a horrible part. I'm just envisioning my finger getting sliced. Okay, that's good. And then this part here, well, I've got my scalp, my big knife out, or my little knife even. Right, let's get all this part together now. Gosh, that was a horrible little tidy up, wasn't it? It's kind of like a let's see if I can slice my thumb off moment. Yeah, that's nice and easy though. Let's get that glued on. This little grot here who's basically having fun, basically just being dragged along by the look of it. Now let's get his body in properly, yeah, so it kind of just goes in pretty much straight. Right. Then we've got 14. the main body of the... I don't know. I'm gonna assume that this is the black gobbo. There's no other way to put it. I'm gonna call him the black gobbo because it just seems easier. Plus, you gotta remember the black gobbo is very much like the white dwarf. I'm pretty certain it was, wasn't it? I think it was. Although the red gobbo is a thing, I'm pretty certain there used to be a black gobbo. In fact, I think there was one issue of White Dwarf years ago that was called the Black Gobbo, and there was a... yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah. So I don't know if this is supposed to be the black gobbo, but the fact that you've got the red gobbo just feels it makes sense that this is the black gobbo. I'm going to look it up. I'm sure if I look it up, I'll find out very, very quickly if this guy's got a name. I think you can get as well. You can get him as a Blood Bowl team, a Blood Bowl pairing. Grombrindle and the black gobbo. I'm waffling now, aren't I? Right, let's get this 15 and 16 out now. Yeah, so it's not a hard model to put together. It's just with the kind of very nature of the miniature, there's lots of little steps to take. So it's taking a bit longer to do than I would have hoped. But I'd rather take it slow and do it right than rush. Should be an easy fit this, but just dry fit it to make sure. Again, just clean up any webbing inside, just to make sure that it settles right. There we go, that's cool. So big sack over the shoulder. Now I definitely feel that I probably will not glue him to the squig anytime soon, because that is going to be a pain to paint if I do. Right, yeah, because it's kind of saying glue it to the base now, glue it to the squig now, but I just feel that that's going to make painting nigh on impossible, but he sits there. I just want to make sure that I get an even tone on my squig. So, definitely shan't be gluing it now. Antlers, 17. Let me just check the antlers though. Again, antlers might be something to do separate, because you want to really get the kind of the squig painted up first, don't you? Right, let's have a look. So the antlers are going to fit here like that. Yeah, I feel like this is definitely something that you paint them separately to the rest of it, and I think you'll be doing a better job for it then. So they're nice and easy to attach when you're done, and then you can get properly coloured in every direction. You know, should work well then. Gosh, what am I like? Tell my fingers have gone now. Oh, and it's gone under somewhere. Right, got that back now. So again, just kind of like the main base now should be nice and simple. Again, there's a lot of little details on this base that probably will benefit from. Actually, no, the base is actually quite easy to get to, so that's fine. I can glue that on. I was worried that the base would be hard to get to. Right, so other than those bits to glue on once it's painted, we are now, by the look of it, complete on the Grotmas Gitz, which I think is, you know, absolutely, I love it. You know, I love this miniature. He's definitely got a lot going on him. He's definitely a good looking miniature, isn't he? I can't hold the antlers on at the same time as this, unfortunately, but there we go. As I said, I'm choosing not to actually glue these parts on until it's painted, just for basically ease. I think I'm more inclined to paint them separately. But there we go. That is the Grotmas Gitz, and what a lovely miniature. Now, please like and subscribe, and I will see you probably when my next Stormbringer delivery comes in.